Hey everyone, it's Yarn Exploder. I'm gonna do a video today about buying Wollmeise, or at least about part of the process, which is buying it online for the grab bag section. So the first thing you need to know is that there are two different updates that Claudia does every single week. So the first update is your standard update, and that's where like all of her normal labeled yarns go. You're gonna buy a saffron, for instance. Okay, so you wanna go in and you specifically want that yarn, you know you wanna get it, you get it in the first update. So it's usually early in the morning. And then the second update that she does are the grab bags. And the grab bags come later in the day. Here, I think it's 10 or 11 Central Time, so 9 or 10 Eastern Time. And that's where you get the kind of yarn that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to leave a link on my blog page that shows where Claudia's website is and where you can get her yarn. So it should be really easy to find, but I'm going to leave just a link for you anyway. And the grab bags, when it's update time, the grab bags will show up in her in stock page. So there's a little link that says in stock. It'll also show up under the weird different section. So the difference between those two places is that the in stock list is kind of during an update when there's a time crunch. The in-stock list is going to show you everything that's available with a few exceptions. It's not, it's kind of buggy, so it's not exactly accurate in terms of whether or not all of the things that are available to purchase that day are there, but it'll show a pretty good example of them. The Weird Different page, on the other hand, it's going to be every single grab bag that she offers. If an item shows up in the Weird Different section, but it doesn't show up in the in-stock list, that's what we refer to as an Easter egg. So a lot of times if you're on the in-stock list and you don't see what you like, you might go through the Weird Different section and look for the Easter eggs and see if there's anything you missed. I like to determine what grab bag it is that I want, and then I just kind of stay on that particular listings page, and then as I'm doing the refresh thing, if you're one of those people who does that, as I refresh it, I'm just looking for that one specific type of grab bag. That way if it comes up and the little green lights on, I can hit add to cart or whatever. Okay, the main thing you need to know is there are three different bases for Wollmeise. There is 100% merino superwash, which is this yarn here. And then she has what she calls twin, which is 80% merino superwash plus 20%, which I think is a nylon. So they say that this is a lot better for socks and this is better for other items, but I haven't really noticed a huge difference. And the third is the lace. The lace is 1700 yards, it's much bigger. So the other thing is there are two different types of colors with Wollmeise. You have semi-solids, and this is a good example of a semi-solid, so is this. They're colors that aren't incredibly variegated, whereas these two yarns would be considered multicolored. So these are the things that you need to know when you buy the grab bags. That you need to make an account online on the Wollmeise store website. You want to have all that information entered, including your PayPal payment information, have a login and a password prepared, and be logged in on that morning. And that's going to make the entire process much smoother for you, because what happens is a lot of people get what's called cart jacking. And cart jacking is where you add an item to your cart, but somebody adds that same item to their cart and they check out and pay for the item faster than you do. And when you go to pay for it, it says, oh, you know, I'm sorry, it's gone, it's no longer available. Once you go onto the page, you're going to see listings, and the way to read the listings is very simple. If you're on the in-stock page, it's going to say all of the different ones, but let's pretend like you're on the Weird Different page for right now. And Weird Different specifies that the grab bag is in fact a grab bag, it's not a specific yarn. So Weird Different is the indicator that you're buying a grab bag. Weird Different is followed by a term. It's going to be standard, semi-solid, or multicolored. Those are correlated to the types of color combinations I spoke about earlier. Standard has a combination, so it can be either semis or multis, two of one, two of the other, one of each, whatever. Multicolors are just gonna show multis, and semi-solids are just gonna have semis. Now, the other thing you need to know is about size. If you buy a lace grab bag, you get one, period. You get one. For 35 euros, you get one lace. This is 1,700 yards, so you get a lot of yarn. You can buy different size grab bags. The small one comes with 2 and the large one comes with 5. So know that when you're looking, the small one will be 35 euros as well, and then the large one is a lot more. So when you buy one grab bag, realize that you're not buying one skein of yarn, but you're buying 2. It's close to $50, so $25 for a skein that's over 500 yards. I still think that's pretty reasonable. So the next thing that you have to decide is what colors you want. So you can go and just have a luck of the draw, like whatever she has in her shelf for grab bags, send me a grab bag, I don't care. And that would be called a Kunterbund, which everyone thinks is hilarious. Now, it used to be that every grab bag was called Kunterbund, but now that's not the case. Kunterbund means whatever yarn you want to send. So you want to send some yarn that's nice and matchy, that's cool. If you want to send yarn that clashes and wouldn't be knit together at all, that's cool too. The other is called gemischt or gemischt. I'm not really sure how it's pronounced in German. I need to learn German, obviously. But those colors are always going to be complementary. So I might get these two together in a bag. The case has been for me that if I get ones that are similar families, they're usually something that's knittable together. So there are all these other different ones. Aside from the 2 kind of main options that you have all of the yarn bases. You have all of the yarn color types, so standard, semi-solid, or multicolored. Then you have to decide, beyond that, what color family you want. When you go to buy your grab bags online, the first thing you're going to pick is you're going to pick the yarn type, and then the color type, and then the color family if you choose to. Now remember, I said you can get just whatever you want. Now to me, those are the most kind of interesting because it exposes you very quickly to lots and lots of different color options for Wollmeise. So in this case, you know, I might get these 2 together, and I like that because it's kind of like Christmas. You may end up with something you hate. You may end up with something you love. You may end up hating both of them and then going on to a de-stash somewhere and trying to trade or sell out the ones that you have. And that's where you start to get the crazy people who hoard the yarn because they have all these different ones and they're trying to sell them, but they're kind of passively selling them. They're not like, buy this now, you know, they're not trying to trade or whatever. They're like, oh, okay, I'll just hold on to my 47 skeins of the same color, and then I'm gonna post a photo of my collection on Ravelry, and then people like Yarn Exploder are gonna be somewhat uncomfortable because that's a lot of yarn. Once you're done with everything in your cart, you kind of want to be very quick and deliberate about how you do things. You hit add to cart, you go to your little cart area, you hit pay. It's going to ask you where you want to ship it, what your payment options are. For those of us in America, you can click, there's a button to exclude the VAT on the item, so that's cool. But likely if you're watching this blog, you're somebody who's quick enough on the computer that you're not going to have any problems buying these things online. So if you're on the website, I know it seems really chaotic and it seems like it's a mad rush, but honestly, if you understand what everything is and you just add one to your cart and you hit buy or whatever, you're done, you know, it's cool. It's not as stressful as everybody makes it out to be. It's not as difficult as everybody makes it out to be. It's more like, you know, you just go in, and as long as you know exactly what it is that you want, you hit add to cart, you hit pay, it takes you to PayPal, you say okay, and it brings you back to the original website and says, cool, congratulations to you. And it takes anywhere from a week and a half to 2 weeks to get your yarn in the mail to the United States. Obviously, people who are on the East Coast tend to get it much faster than the rest of us, but for me, it's usually about 2.5 weeks, I think. If you guys have any questions, you can leave them in the comments, or you can give me a Twitter. I'm Yarn Exploder on Twitter too, so if you have any questions about it, let me know. It's really not as hard as it seems. Just as long as you know the terminology and you know what you're looking for, it's a piece of cake. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you had a good time or you learned something at least, and I'll see you guys next week.